Hi, I'm Eric Sock, and this is
Tommy McNish.
and we're going to be working on Tommy's tennis game today. So I'm going to have Tommy warm up for me real quick. Tommy, could you please take about a lap or two around the tennis court while I see how you're doing today? All right, here we go. So Tommy is a ex-football player and got into the game of tennis. I was lucky enough to meet him probably last summer, and he's obviously physically gifted and brings a lot of athleticism to the table. So it's always fun to work with athletes. They can transfer some of those skills to tennis. So, all right, that's good, Tommy. Thanks. Can you go ahead and do a little dynamic stretching for me? Have you do a few butt kicks real quick. Thank you. He's been playing some collegiate tennis since the football days. So, all right, let's get those knees up now. Little knee ups. Good, very good, Tommy. So good, and then let's just get kind of some walking lunges, dynamically, not statically. New word for everybody. Good. Let's just get activated, and so we're excited to be continuing his tennis improvement. I know he got a little bit better last summer to last winter, so we're back seeing how he's doing now, and hopefully he continues his tennis journey. So, all right, Tommy, how are we feeling today? Pretty good, okay. All right, let's get some of the upper body warmed up too. We've only done lower body so far, so give me some arm twirls. Okay, some swimmer arms. There we go. Good. Okay, good. All right, let's have you shuffle from side to side. Shuffle steps. There you go, good. A little crossover step after that. There you go, man, good. Excellent, good. All right, give me just about a 70-75% run down there, sprint. Good. As you can see, he's very athletically gifted, so that's always fun to see. All right, good. And then back pedals while keeping your head straight ahead. Good. Good. Way to go, Tommy. Awesome. So, are we ready to kind of grab our racket and get warmed up with the racket now? Now we got our body a little warmed up.
Yep.
All right, he said yes, so we're going to move on to the next stage of the warm-up here. And Tom, is there anything you'd like to say more about yourself that I didn't say already? Go ahead.
Just wanting to get more feel in my backhand, more control.
Okay, so we will be getting to his backhand in the next part of the lesson. So let's go ahead and let's take our racket and let's have you go to the other side, Tommy. So now we're gonna warm Tommy up with his racket, and we always like to say that that's a little bit different than just warming your body up, because the racket, probably I would say the most common injury people can have is like tennis elbow. So when we warm up, we want to make sure we're getting warmed up with the racket and that we're not just cold when we start every time. So there you go. hope that the camera's picking this up. Sometimes you will get a one-handed shot. Tommy a little rest because we don't want to burn them out in the lesson and have them say, wow, all I did was hit balls the whole time and never had any fun either. So go ahead. So yeah, that was just our racket warm up there. That was our warm up. We may go back and do a little bit more warming up before we get into the meat and potatoes of the lesson, which is going to be the backhand for Tommy today. Anything you'd like to say, Tommy? No? Okay. How you feeling?
Pretty good.
All right, good. Yeah. Tommy's injury free. That's always a really good thing to have in tennis, and as you can see, he's working hard. It's what you love to see, is brings the effort. So, all right, here we go. Sorry. Yeah. Next drill. To my attention back in. What I'll start with is just leaving the ball to that side. Then I'll be able to see kind of maybe what's going right, what could be better. So we'll take a look at it now. Great work. It was great effort there, okay? So we have to get a little bit closer for the audio just to make sure we're picking this up, but Tommy just hit a bunch of backhands cross court and down the line. What are some things that you think you're doing well on them?
Sometimes it has good depth.
Okay.
Other times I feel too forceful.
Okay. And what are some things that, so too forceful? Okay. I would agree. I think that you generally hit your backhand pretty, you time it pretty well. But it feels like you're forcing it more than your forehand. Okay. So he thinks that's a fair assessment. And that's something that a lot of tennis players may face, is that they have one side that they maybe think is just a lot easier for them than the other side, and might worry that the other side could be not a liability, but something that breaks down more than the other side. So, meaning they have more confidence in one side than the other, which is totally fine. In this lesson, we might talk also about how you could use that to your advantage, or how to play to what you're more confident in, and then maybe not how to have somebody play into your side you're not as confident in. So we might get into some tactics too. But technically speaking, there's not a lot wrong with your technique. As like I know, Tommy's a pretty advanced player already. So it's not like you got to reinvent his technique or anything like that, or teach him a lot of technique, because he's played quite a bit of tennis already. What would you say is like your what do you think? Is there anything you think you're doing technically wrong on your backhand? Because I see you trying one-handed backhands and stuff.
Maybe not getting enough under the ball. So maybe just too flat, not getting enough topspin. Some of them don't, some of them just drive.
Yeah. Okay. And so right now we're gonna just talk about the main thing I want to talk about with it, and that is grip today. And Tommy has a very neutral grip on his backhand, meaning he doesn't have a grip that puts a lot of topspin or a lot of underspin on it directly. So he has a very neutral grip. That feeling is going to feel a lot different than his forehand. His forehand is a lot stronger grip, more towards Hawaiian. It's a more Western grip. His backhand is a continental, very standard grip. The hand might be in a semi-Western position, but I say left hand, but the right hand is clearly in a continental position, meaning that ball has to be pretty well. It doesn't have, but the ball is pretty flat because of the grip. So that is like number one, is that you're not gonna naturally put a lot of spin on your backhand. It's gonna be fairly flat, and for that reason, it might feel different than the forehand. Okay. So the main thing I wanted to focus on with him was maybe hoping he understands by the end of the lesson, hey, my grip is such, and that's why it feels the way it does. There's maybe no answer for how you can, and I'm getting too in depth here, but that's really the reason why that probably feels the way it does, Tommy. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go back over and have Tommy hit another series of backhands and see if he starts to realize that he's not gonna have much more than a flat backhand. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go back over there. All right. I really liked what I saw there from something changed either mentally or something. He decided I can just hit this backhand. It's good the way it is. So that's what we like to see. All right, we'll do it. Exaggerate the difference in spins that are produced by these grips. That's what I wanted to make clear today. Unless you want to change your backhand grip, I wouldn't recommend that. So, joined here again with Tommy, and he just hit a series of forehands and backhands. What I wanted to make clear to Tommy today was hopefully he can see now that his forehand is naturally a lot spinnier because of a little more Western forehand grip, and his backhand is going to be a little flatter because of his natural continental grip. And so, is there anything you'd like to add onto that? Not right now. So, again, this isn't about me teaching him the perfect forehand or backhand. It's hopefully teaching him it's okay to just use what you have too. So, anyways. You say it's been about 12 minutes, 13 minutes.
Keep it going because I still need to do stuff.
All right, so our main focus was the backhand today, and it looks good. It looks good. I'm glad that he came in for this checkup, or was willing to do it. So let's go ahead and see if we can't apply this now to a game situation. So I'll probably jump in and hit with you a little bit, Tommy, and that way you're seeing a live ball instead of a dead ball. Before we do that, we're going to do a dead ball though again. So we're going to go back over, and we're going to. Tommy mentioned he also would like to do returns because sometimes he plays reverses. So returns.
You get a little bit late on the forehand.
And he knows he gets a little late on the forehand sometimes. What ends up happening?
Shanks up high to the right.
Shanks up high to the right. And so we're going to now just work on the return. We actually want to focus on two things, backhand and return. So we're going to go ahead and do returns now as well before we get into a more live situation. Place to aim on the return. If we're getting inconsistent, remember the best place we can go is like right down the middle. Come on. Tommy, how did those returns feel?
Shaky with the forehand, better with the backhand now.
What part felt shaky? When it was kind of lower, higher, in the middle?
Higher.
When the ball was higher to your forehand?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, just kept on shanking it, or framing it, but it went back in this time. Some days it won't, some days it won't.
Okay. Well, one thing that I also would encourage is if you're like thinking that the ball is out of the strike zone, you can utilize obviously a chip or a flip. And those are a couple different techniques we get into another time. But I thought they looked pretty good, honestly. I thought they looked pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the live situation now, live ball situation. So you up for that, Tommy?
Yep.
All right, cool. So we're gonna do the live ball situation now.
Which live ball situation?
We're gonna have you go back to the same side you were on, and we're gonna work on Tommy's intermediate game. So he's going to be hitting approaches, and we're gonna play him out from there. This is just your typical approach shot game that a lot of. Yeah. So ready to go. All right, here we go. Okay. We'll play a couple out for fun, and then we can keep track if we need to. But here we go. All right, we're gonna get an approach shot, and we're gonna play it out from there. Okay, not bad. Good. Way to play to the open court there. Good play. Here you go. Oh, great shot, great shot. Hey, for the purpose of this, could you please, being as long as I am, could you hit it down the line for right now, and then we might open it up to full court. All right, we're gonna finish the point off, Tommy. Good, good. All right, here we go. All right, it's all right. Here we go. Good. I'd like to try to take a little bit more touch to that volley. It's okay. You don't have to go to the open court. I would actually encourage you to go to a place that they're not as good at as much as you can. Really would. So, all right, ready? Here we go. Ready? All right, we're gonna try it again. Here we go. So it's just one area of his game that we'd like to also see keep getting better. We know he can play from the baseline, and we know he can volley it when he has to. It's kind of that intermediate range that we want to work on. So, here you go. Maybe good approaches. All right. Like I said, if you feel the need, you can flip your forehand approach. If you feel the need, you can flip your forehand approach. If you feel the need, here we go. We're gonna take two, take four. Okay. Hopefully we give him a tool that he can now add to his toolbox. Last one. It's all right. It's all right that you missed that. And good. Like what I saw there in the approach shot drill game. So good, Tommy. Tommy, I know your volleys are good, your baseline's good, so I'm glad that we kind of. If you want to come back over here, that'd be pretty good. Oh, one more thing. Let's go ahead and do your backhand approaches. All right. No coaching on that. All right, ready? Here we go. Here we go. approach. Go. Backhand approach looked really good right away. It looked like we didn't need to spend a lot of time on that. So we covered from the baseline. We talked to. All right. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna wrap up here. I didn't realize we were getting into 26, 27 minutes. So, great, Tommy. How we feeling?
Good.
Good, man. Good. Any questions for me right now?
I think you answered the backhand answer for me. And could go on for so much. And just smoothing the ball out, use what I have. Flatten it out. Or mine's not going to have the top spin that my forehand has. Use a different grip.
That was kind of what I was hoping you'd come to realize through this lesson was the grips and how they affect your natural shot shape, if that makes sense, Tommy. Because he was a little concerned at the beginning of the lesson that his backhand was a little too, what's the word, forceful, and so I tried to explain to him that it will feel different than his forehand in general. And then I hope we might have given you something that you could utilize for approaches. And that was maybe to flip more forehands, because it looked like you got a little bit unsure when you had a forehand approach shot sometimes. So I thought the backhand looked good. We only needed a rep or two on that. So thank you again for coming and taking this lesson. Do you have any questions? What? Oh. All right. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. All right, we're just gonna have Tommy cool down now. Obviously, we don't want him to leave and without stretching and cooling down. So, all right. Yeah, great job today, man. Really did a good job. So. All righty. All right. Thanks again.
Yep.